Welcome back everyone to the Book Brood, and today Heidi is going to bring you another more in-depth short review. This one is The Deep by River Solomon, David Diggs, William Hutson, and Jonathan Snipes.
Yes. So I know that this is a very, I want to say divisive book. People either love it or hate it, which is one of the things that intrigued me about it and made me want to pick it up. What I did not realize about this story going into it is that it's an art experiment based on a song or an album. So there was a group that would do songs or albums, I'm not entirely sure, that were mostly instrumental, but basically told a story. And as far as I can tell, these four authors wanted to write a story that felt like one of those songs.
Okay.
Does that make sense?
Yeah.
So it was an experimental piece that they put together. If there is music to this, I didn't listen to it, but I would love to listen to it if anyone knows if that is the case. Because that was a section at the very end of the story which actually helped make more sense of the story. The story itself, it's short and it has that purple prose, it's very whimsical and dark. It's a story about what happened to pregnant African slaves who were thrown overboard on their journey across the ocean. And the mothers died, but they still gave birth, and what they gave birth to was these ocean-dwelling monsters. Everyone keeps calling them mermaids. I don't think mermaids was ever used in the book or in the synopsis even. I would say closer to like sirens almost, or like scary mermaid, like they're
Okay.
like they have a tail and fins, but they're very much monsters. They are dangerous and basically just a giant metaphor of just all the rage and hate that came from this, the women. And this story follows the group of water-dwelling people know the importance of memory, but don't want their anger and pain-filled memories to bleed out into their everyday to day. So they choose one member at a time to hold all of the memories of all of their ancestors. Sort of a giver type situation here. And Yetu is that person. But she was chosen because she is so sensitive, and it's a double-edged sword. She is so sensitive, so these memories are killing her, basically. She doesn't have room in herself for her own personality, for her own needs or wants, and they're completely taken over her whole life, and she's just drowning in memories. And so once a year she is supposed to hold a ceremony where she shares the memories with the entire group of people and walks them through them, lets them experience them for a few days, and then takes them back. But she knows that if she does take them back, she will not survive. Like, she will die. And so she doesn't take them back. Instead, she runs away. And she has a little bit of an adventure of just trying to get away, trying to outrun her responsibilities. And during that time, she's feeling a lot of guilt for abandoning her people and her responsibility. And she goes to the surface and she forms a relationship with some humans. There is a female-female love relationship story happening. Oh, Cinder wants to say hello. So yeah, it's basically a big theme is intergenerational trauma, and it's, can we remember the past without letting it ruin our present, right?
Right.
And the importance of memory. I don't know how to, like, there were a few plot threads that weren't fully explored, but I mean, when you think about it as a song, it makes sense. Like, it's not a fully fleshed out thing. It's just...
It's got that nice one line of lyrics,
exactly.
but doesn't,
Exactly.
Right, okay.
So there is a bit of story that is trying to express, like, if Yetu does not go back and help her people, the entire underwater community of people will churn the oceans and rise up and destroy the world. And that's her big fear. And I thought that was a beautiful imagery of, like, if these memories are left to fester, if they're allowed to take over your entire present and just completely consume you, it can just ruin your whole world, right? It's difficult to talk about because it was a very short story and it was very experimental and lyrical, and I didn't really love the experience, but I love that they did this. Like, it feels very original and
it was a good art piece.
it was a great art piece. There you go. Yes.
Okay.
I don't think that if you were judging it as a book, I don't think you're going to love the book. But as an art piece, absolutely.
Okay.
Yeah.
Great. That is really curious. That is an interesting project to take on.
Yeah.
In that kind of fashion.
So there you go. There's The Deep. And I recommend it if it sounds intriguing.
If it's something you just want to enjoy as a book, probably not.
Maybe find something else. I mean, if you want a mermaid story, this is not that. I don't know why it's being marketed as a mermaid story. People are getting so disappointed that it's not. But yes.
All right. So that is The Deep by those 4 people.
All right, guys.